Hello, welcome to this FinGraphs podcast on Dukascopy TV. Today we're going to look at gold and silver. To do so, we're going to first look at a mosaic on our fingraphs.com platform. It features gold, silver, dollar yen, and dollar Swiss on a weekly basis on the upper line and on a daily basis on the lower line. What we could say is that gold and silver have been consolidating for about a year. It's been a long consolidation, but we do believe that the outcome will be a retest of highs at least into the spring. What we could see is that dollar yen, which is usually on the other side of these trades, has been very strong, and this dollar strength has indeed weighed on both precious metals. We do believe that there's probably further upside on dollar yen into next year, but that we're probably getting towards at least an intermediate top. We could see that our envelopes are touching each other on the weekly. We could see that on the daily, the envelopes are touching each other and our risk index is in the overbought zone. Looking at dollar Swiss gives us a more promising picture. It's also often on the other side of precious metals. And what we can see is that we've had a rebound during 2021, but that this rebound is probably starting to die out. The risk index is quite low, so the time opportunity is probably not very long, probably into the spring. But we can see that the daily graph is already starting to move lower again. Looking at the daily graphs of gold and silver, we can see that we were very oversold throughout the year and that we're probably starting to attempt to break out to the upside. Similarly on silver, a strong oversold position in September and starting to attempt to move higher again. So let's look at the charts of gold and silver. First of gold, this investor's view with a weekly chart for the perspective over the next few quarters, a daily chart for the perspective over the next few months, and an hourly chart for the perspective over the next few weeks. We can see that gold has consolidated on the weekly for about a year. It did come down to support, which is usually a good sign because the support actually held. The risk index is still quite high, but we do believe that there is a bit of a leeway for it to move higher. If we look at the daily here, we are in a consolidation store, but it's already turned up in terms of trend, and we can see that the risk index is starting to rise. Now, it doesn't seem quite ready yet to move up. We can see that we have a small top forming here on our daily graph and an exaggerated position here on our hourlies with our envelopes touching each other, our initial targets which have been reached in our risk index in the overbought. Our view is that we may get a bit of a retest down, a bit of a consolidation into November, perhaps towards mid-late November, and that from early December we might start rising again, breaking out of this range and possibly retesting the highs into early next year. Looking at silver, we see a similar picture. Also a consolidation which has been going on for about a year. It came into our corrective targets. If we look at the daily graph, it was very oversold a month ago. It's started to bounce. It's within our corrective targets to the upside. If it were to break out above 26, it would confirm a strong uptrend, but we're not quite there yet. We can see that on the hourly, we've had an initial point of stress here with our envelopes touching each other and our risk index in the overbought. We're getting a second probably over the next few days. We would expect a bit more work here into mid-late November. And again here from December, we believe that silver could move up and probably retest its highs done last year around $30 into early next year. Thank you very much and have a good week.